Welcome back to Railroads Online. I'm River, and we are looking at our Tier 2 Porter that I just purchased. So we still have a little bit of money, $1,500 almost, which should be enough to keep us going. I did do some hauling, and I'm definitely finding out that it's not so much that there's more to the economy, but there is definitely a lot of strategy if you want to do it well to getting this stuff dropped off every place. So we're running out of things to do if we don't want to start selling to the depot, and we might have to sell to the depot. Oh, look, we got two lights. Okay, I was wondering what the two lights were about. So is there a way to turn off the lights, or are they just always on? Are they gas lights, or do we need this generator? Oh, the questions. I guess we should go. Oh, look, yeah, we got extra wood in here. So let's get out for a second and see. Okay, wood's not really my problem. The water level's still the same, right? That's really, to some degree, our limiting factor, but I guess it might change what we do. I don't know how the other trains compare in the game, right? But we're pretty familiar. I mean, it really is kind of the same thing. Now, hopefully, well, we'll see. I've heard that this is different in more ways than just the fact that it's the tier two, that it's different and not as OP. So I think that we're advanced enough now we can handle not as OP. If we're highly disappointed, it just means we're going to be moving forward quicker as far as doing a few loads and just we'll go by the next locomotive in line. Now, what I would like to also try to do, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I didn't think about it until this. Can we tow another locomotive? All right, so as soon as we can move here, I want to go down. Oh, you know what I need to do? While we're waiting for that, let me switch this track. So I pulled this guy in deliberately into the middle one. Can we tow him back and then drop him off and then, because that would, I don't know, I think it could come up on a number of occasions that you would want to tow the other locomotive. And it led to a question that I probably can't, I guess maybe I could answer it, but because I'm just single playing it, could you have two locomotives pulling the same train? Or is that just getting kind of ridiculous? Certainly, it would be interesting if they give you some mechanism to do it in single player. I wouldn't mind that. Certainly what happens in real life on the steeper portions to try to get the biggest loads they can. They actually just have trains that run up and down certain hills helping other trains. I mean, I'm sure they do other things with them at times, but that's their primary job will be just helper cars that just consistently just do that over certain passes in the mountains or whatever. I cut the recording until we got a little bit more power, so now we should be able to move forward. I hope. I see they're putting the reverser. I never put the reverser back to the middle. I guess we'll give it full throttle. It's a little bit longer, isn't it? Not much, just because it has this back part on it. Yeah, look how they really do need to do something about the height this guy is standing at. Because this will be no better for like trying to be third person or first person view. There we go. We already have a link in that other one, so I need to, when I get out to do the switches, let's see if we can correct that. Now we want to take this guy back down to the sawmill, and then I just pulled a load of lumber, beams, I mean, which is lumber, but their wording is a little odd on some of these things, but the beams, we just pulled them up. So I have a good idea of how that train just did, right? So I guess I could have taken the link out of this other one. Would have been probably easier. It's kind of weird with the headlight in the front and the back. Is there a way to turn it off? Like, oh, light blowout flame. Left button and drag up. Okay. Yeah, we don't need the light on. It's oh, look, we can. Okay. Yeah, so it must be gas, I suppose. All right, let's get some more. All right, there's some more firewood in there, just for the sake of it. It's just going to burn down what's in the firebox anyway. If we don't, it's not like we're going to be sitting around that long. What? I don't know. Well, I'm not going to go too quick to pass judgment, but that was definitely slower feeling anyway. But there are times that the regular porter is slow as well. Yeah, definitely longer in the back end there, huh? All right, so let's first of all, this I guess would be the big test, right? Yeah, that's linked, and I can get in here. There's my brake handle. All right, so the brake is off. Let's put this. I don't want to get into the F mode, right? I guess that's neutral. I don't know that it matters that it's in neutral or not, but yeah, I can't really tell. It doesn't tell you the percentage like it does on the other. So, oops. All right, let's see if this will. Kind of looks funny, but see if it'll work. Oh, we don't want to go reverse. Let's go for. By the way, I'm wondering if that's not how I keep losing cars. Is like, because I was on a hill. Did I just start so hard that I, like by the time you let off the brake and slide down the hill and then jam it forward? Now you would think that the cars, the trains wouldn't get so much traction, that the engines. But we'll see. Locomotive, sorry. Yeah, well, this is working. So we can drag old Betsy down someplace that makes sense. I just came from here, so we should be in good shape on all the signals. And what I would like to do is drop off Betsy so that I can back in, and Betsy will become the log hauling train. That's one of the plans that I have. Like, as we get more trains, I would like to just sort of, retire the other ones. I don't know. Can you even sell the old trains? I have no idea. I've heard people talk about accidentally demolishing them or deleting them somehow. I guess they're using that demolish tool. But in any event, so that we can use Betsy whenever I want to go get logs. We just leave her parked there. She can take the log train out in the meantime, and then we'll see what certain trains may be suited to certain runs, right? Now, I don't know how well that'll work. We'll play it by ear. Doesn't, have to be set in stone. And maybe some trains will just retire. But that would, I don't know. And for some purposes of the recording, we'll probably won't see how much will we see Betsy. I'm not sure how much more driving the logging train back and forth will show. At least not maybe until there's more upgrades or something. Or updates. Right, so let's I think I'll leave Betsy right here. Get in her. Brake on. We'll worry about that later. So then we'll get in here, and I'll pull forward. Then I want to turn around, so I want to back. I should have switched that switch first. Let me do that before I go too far. That one's fine because I have to pull forward, but then this one needs to be the other way. I'll back down into here. You know, I can back down to here, but I think I can go all the way around. That's what I'll do. Yeah, so let me pull forward. I'll back in and go all the way around. Then I'll come back and get Betsy. Not sure how much you guys are interested in seeing some yard work. Let me know if you want to see more of it in particular. I don't mind. But at the same time, it does get fairly repetitive, I think. That's why I thought this was at least a little bit interesting coming down here, shifting cars. It's not like the same route over and over. So let's switch this guy back. And we'll reverse, hopefully, and I think this will work fine because I was just hauling beams up to the, where was I going? I don't know, I took beams someplace. Oh, the coal mine. And that's what we're going to do next. So I don't know how much time we'll have because that's a pretty long trip, but if we have more time with this thing, we'll do more. If not, I'll give you a further assessment of its power getting up to that coal mine. You know, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so what I should probably even do, I stop here. And we're going to want this flipped back the other way, and then we're going to want this, yeah, because I'm going to come back out this way. I'm going to want this flipped the other way. This is the one we have to flip each time. And that's going to flip to go back up towards the coal mine. Guess we could do either, but this one's heated up. I don't know that Betsy needs to be heated up, but she probably has boiler pressure in there, I think. Let's get this guy around to where he goes. I think that's the last stop. Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit slower on this, like on this first part. You know, I haven't really done anything with it, but again, could that be me or the hills, or I'm just not aware of it? And again, I kind of hope it's a little bit nerfed compared to I'm ready for not OP trains, you know? Because I've never used sand. Will we have to use sand with this one? I have no idea. This could become a complete fiasco of me not knowing what I'm doing. Hope not. So we have plenty of water. It's plenty of firewood. We could top the firewood up, but I feel like we have, all things being equal, which I don't know that they are, but I feel like we have a lot of more firewood than we have been dealing with. And it would definitely make sense that this would be, more advanced. Oh, I didn't put a thing back. I took it out of the other one. Let's I took, oh, I kept the link somehow. I don't know, I'm confused. Maybe there was, I don't know. This was the back of the last tray. Maybe I had a link in there from before. I didn't think there was a link. There we go. Link or no link. I got the break on the first two. Like Super Mario jumping ability. I don't mean me, I just mean the character. Let's pick up a little wood on our way by. Throw it right in there. I think we're... we need to get Desi out of the way. Oops. That's alright. It's free wood for now, but I do have a plan on fixing that. And I will let you guys know in one of the episodes, but I think we can... I don't know if my idea is that great, but it certainly will work where we could deliver cordwood to different firewood places relatively easily. I'm not sure how the whole firewood thing works 100%, but... Alright, so we were minus 14. Yeah, we have a little bit of... Nope. I already passed it. Didn't even think of it. Oops. Get yellow. This guy needs to be switched. Then we put this guy back in there. We'll have to switch these back. And then let's make sure... Yep, that guy's the right way. Track doesn't look very straight from this angle. I think I've gotten a lot better at all this stuff. And I think some of it's just knowing the requirements, like you get a feel for that's just going to be way too tight a turn or something like that. And these are pretty tight turns. Oh, good, we can pull that forward and drop those logs off while we're here. I didn't want to drop them because I didn't think they'd go in the water. Can we pull? I guess we can pull them with the brake still on, right? We'll see. Oh yeah, we lost our link here. I guess I took it out of the other. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. See how this one still had its... Oh, we were towing from the front, though. Or I don't know. No, we were towing from the back. Alright, I can take this one off easy enough so that last train will just have its brake on, so we'll see if we got enough oomph to pull this thing forward a little bit. Alright, it's like that brake isn't even on. Well, I guess if we're going to leave a train hooked up, do we even need... Well, I mean, I'm sure regulations and safety would have you leaving these on, but I think I might, and especially because of the fact that this thing's like down in the hollow, like a little bit of a dip. What? Using right click. Like, in other words, this is downhill slightly, and it's downhill slightly on the other end. So there we go. So, you know what, though? We are kind of blocking. Let's back this up a little bit. Just so in case we want to come in here and get this guy at some later point. And there's a place to park some. We could park a couple of locomotives in there, no problem. Oh, is that enough room? Should be. Good. Well, there we go. Betsy is not retired, but hopefully we'll have some success with this one. We need to go switch these. Not so much for this trip, but for the next one. And I don't know that the next one's even going to be down into here, but... because the next one could be something else. Because this will be the last trip that we could take for beams. Because we have overloaded the lumber. Right, is that right? Yeah. No, this one needs to be... oh, no, because we're going to come around that way. That's right. Yeah, that's fine. So in other words, we have plenty of logs, but we have lumber is backing up the whole works down here. It is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that makes this kind of tricky because the coal mine where we're going only takes 18 or 20 beams at a time. And then the iron mine takes lumber and beams, but it needs them in equal proportion. So there's no real point, maybe very temporarily, you could take, you know, some lumber up there, but then you're going to have to bring beams anyway. It's not really gaining you anything. So if you look here, well, you can see the yard is full, but we have 100 of 100. And after we take these 18, we only have 3 beams left. So we either need to do our next building, which is like the only one that really needs these things is going to be the refinery. Right? So either that or we sell some off at the freight depot. So my thought is that after we get done hauling a little bit what we can, we're really almost... oops, wrong button. That escape button does not close the map. Let's see, are we... yeah, we got plenty of fire. So, you know, when it comes to it, it's like I really don't want to sell stuff off to the depot if I can then go take it to the refinery. So I think we're going to go down there and build the refinery after this. That's what I was trying to get at before I interrupted myself by trying to do 2 things at once. Yeah, so let's see. How do we pull? Oh, you know what? Probably pull better. No, I don't have the... oh, did I leave the brakes not on the whole time? That's not the last one. I guess we should probably check them all. Yeah, I left the brakes off. Well, again, one more reason, if you're a knucklehead, you should, you know, build these downhill, like in a little bit of a gully if you can, where they just won't go running out of the... yeah, no, I didn't have any brakes on. Well, all right, let's get on the move then. Little... there was a comment from a while ago, one of the past, you know, a week and a half ago's episode, that they figured I probably left the rail car not attached, you know. But now I'm pretty good at pulling out and looking back and making sure everybody's coming with me. Like, first of all, I just like the look of it pulling away from the station like this. So I've been pretty good about that. So somehow I've been losing a rail car every now and again. It's funny that it's the last rail car. You would think, you know, if you were doing something stressful, this pin here has the most stress of all of them because it has to pull all the cars. So you wouldn't think you would be losing the last one. You would think you'd lose one further up. I understand there could be weaknesses. I doubt there's the physics. Like, two couplings in real life aren't going to be the same. Where in a computer program, more often than not, the couplings are all going to be exactly equal strength. One's not going to be old and worn out. One's brand new. And so far, can't tell any difference. Not that I would have thought so right now. And like I said, I just came back from there, so all of our switches, as long as we didn't mess them up down here, all of our switches should be pretty good. And I don't know why the whistle thing. Sometimes it's the bell, sometimes it's the whistle gets highlighted. I don't really understand why. It looked like we're all good. Take it a little bit slow, but through here until I get out of all these switches. It's pretty. I have gone faster, and it's fine. We're doing a pretty good job these days. You know, but this is a bit of a sharp turn. Really, once I get out of this turn, and this is nice and straight through here. Now, coming down this hill, let's see if the brakes seem to be about the same, because brakes are an important thing. I usually give it a little bit, you know, just right here. There's sometimes I end up taking it off, depending on how impatient I am. Like, just to not, I don't want to overspeed starting out on this hill. But sometimes if you put it on too much. So 30, we'll try to get it right on 30, or pretty, yeah, there we go. Right, it's been pretty good as far as the braking. By the time we get down to the hill, we'll know if the brakes are equal on this one as they are. They could be the same exact computer mechanics, just a different, slightly different model. Maybe a little bit different amount of firewood that you can hold. That seems pretty darn similar. And some of the reason I go this fast is that it just, see these boards start bouncing around. Like, if you go too much faster, I'm afraid I'm just going to derail, even though it's not ultimately that fast. Now, I have been coming around this turn no problem. I know I could do 30, you know, maybe like 25, 27. We'll see if this pulls. It doesn't seem to be. It's making the same amount of noise, but it really doesn't seem to be pulling. Oh, I got the brake on. Well, that'll do it. Yep, that'll cut her down a little bit, won't it? It's good the brakes work, though. That's what I was doing. I was just testing the brakes. Yeah, let's give her a little more. Kind of got an unfair. Usually when I do that, I'm got a little bit more speed. And then a lot of times after I get past this, you know, the bulk of that turn, I'll notch it up to 30 or 40. see what 40 does for us. 39. Well, it definitely seems slower. But if I had to say, I mean, it's not. Slower or just more gradual, like, or am I just overthinking it and it's kind of fine and normally I'm putting on 50 and I don't realize, but it feels already like it's a little bit slow. Now we ran out of fuel. I'm thinking maybe we stop on this bridge and put more in, just because I don't want that to be an issue. I was making it the whole way there with the other one. That's another test for another day when I could just buzz right up there without switching any signs. And yeah, it's definitely feeling a little bit slower, I would have to say. But that's my opinion, not scientifically proven. All right, let's see if we can't. How much is in there? Put on one more piece. Oh, so even if you throw it there, it shows up there? Is that what happened there? Let's see how we pull this hill. This will be as good a test as I have. This is the biggest hill. And I've been going up this easy, like at 50%. Now, might have had a little more of a run up, you know. Yeah, definitely not as fast. Definitely not as powerful. I mean, definitely not as powerful at the lower setting there, right? Like, but we went right up, so it's not. Now, could it, like, maybe there's a difference with the torque? Because torque is not the same thing as the power. Does this just have less torque, or which means like the torque is going to be the rotational pulling on each wheel that helps you get up the hill. So you could have something that's just as powerful that could go higher speeds or as a high speed, but if it doesn't have the torque, then it's going to be easier to like put the brakes on to stop the wheel from turning. Or if you're going up a steep hill, you won't have that extra pulling power. That's why when you hear like these tractors, these huge farm tractors, 500 horsepower, but they can't go 200 miles per hour like a Bugatti or something. Then again, I guess the Bugatti's probably got like 1,100 horsepower or something too. But you get the idea. Like it's 500 horsepower car is a pretty massively fast car. Where that tractor will never. But the car, even with all its horsepower, couldn't outpull that tractor. It's a pretty good track, especially for uphill. It's actually easier coming downhill because it's too easy to hit the little bit steeper parts. Yeah, I definitely think that we're using more water, or that's that we're, because we're using more power, I definitely feel like we're using more water. And but again, I really would want to see clean trip like the whole way to try to compare it. And by that I mean like not, because even like the stops to switch signals, and but we did stop and already put firewood in, so we'll see. Let's see if we can make it the rest of the way on what we have, and we'll see what happens. But so far I like it. Like I said, I'm looking for something that's not as powerful, and if it's not, we could take off our number of car restrictions, right? Because with that other porter, which I do tend to agree with people, seems overpowered to me. I didn't want to just abuse that at the starting, because I like, why would you have any other vehicle if that thing's it's so good? Yeah, I do want a bit of realism and challenge and getting up these hills, and that really just, it hasn't been. The challenge has come from building all the tracks, so let's go a little bit faster, make some more noise. Just no doubt it's not as powerful. There's no doubt in my mind. So I would breeze right through there at 20, like doing just what I did. Now we're doing a little bit of recovering. I don't know that it needs twice as much, or if it's half as powerful, but it's definitely less powerful. Just almost no doubt. But like I said, when I'm not recording or talking and have a clean run the whole way, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we did make it. And I do want to. Well, I think maybe what we'll do, because of the amount of time we have left, which isn't too much, but maybe I will talk about like a change of plans when it comes to. Oh, you know what? Let me just stop right here. That's the case. So the change of plans that I'm thinking of is that each one of these, like we talked about before in a previous episode, that I would put these right near where I have to switch each time. So this one that needs to be switched each time is this one. So what I'm thinking of is moving this over here, and then we can have a switch that we can come around. You know, we'll have to be a little more particular about how we do it. But we'll put a switch here that's actually a switch right. And we'll move the stations. Yeah, I don't really want to mess with that turn too much, do I? Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, so we'll go back to where this is straight, right? And we'll put in a switch left, switch on the right. All right, let me go forward. Probably should have deleted more up there, huh? Can't really see. How close is that? That's pretty good. Come on, you got to give me that one. that was, I mean, no, that wasn't luck. That was just pure skill. Let's even, we can take that little ditty wonkiness out of it while we're fixing it. that was skills, just pure skills there. I'll maintain that in court. Yeah, I didn't know that was going to make it. That's just, you know what's going to happen after I say all that too, right? We'll do the complete boneheaded thing in a few seconds here. Yeah, it looks pretty reasonable, and then we can. Well, I guess. Well, yeah. What we should do next is let's start. Go back to here is a good spot to start. All right, we'll start making this wider. First of all the way across here. This track's going to be a little bit long feeding in. And then we'll run it long so that we can, like if you just do a short one, and I haven't actually tested this, but I figured this was going to be true. Let's, oh, look at that, it's a little higher. I didn't realize that would be that much higher. I don't think it's going to matter for the firewood thing. All right, let's do this. It's going to matter for me tying it back in there, making it look perfect. Not that it was ever going to be perfect, but try to do another one. Cut down some trees, and then we'll see. I think we might need to do another after this, just for the tracks to fit. And this is what I would plan on doing at pretty much every place that I needed water. Now, of course, there might be some in the middle of nowhere that would be a little bit different. But all right, so we might as well make this as far up this way as is reasonable. Yeah, really, we just start losing the level right in this area. So let's just put the water tower here. And I want them hitting that piece of wood. I think that'll be okay. So could be a tiny bit closer. Now, what I've learned is to try to get that. I can kind of see all the way over there that we're just sort of far enough away, and then you just have to do your best, especially if you're on a turn, to try to get that close without being too close. That's pretty good. That should be all right. So now, see what I mean? Like it just doesn't quite, you need another one. But this one we can go all the way back, or close to all the way back. And just want to, I'm not going to start over here, but I want to just see. Yep, I think straight, starting right there. Now what I'll do with the track is run it like significantly past there, so that way when we're unloading, right, we can push a lot of the cars further along and hopefully unload like a whole train's worth. Otherwise, if you ended it here, you would have to unattach each car to get the next one in, and it's 100 logs, so, or 100 cordwood, so it's possible. What's 100 divided by 8 is 12, right? Like, you know, it's possible that you would want 12 cars. I don't think we'll get that many in, but why did we leave that one tree? All right, at least that way we could push a lot of cars back in there before we would have to, like, do some kind of switcheroo. I guess I could try to attach from this end, can't I? Might as well just start right in the center and you really can be just, I mean, these boards are just about the width of your rail cars, so you really can be just right up against those. Right. So I wanted to do all that because our we're switched one way, and we'll get rid of the one on the other side. Yeah, I don't quite like that too much. A little bit of a oops. A little bit more of an oops right here. I kind of got rid of it, didn't it? Let's try it from this side. That's nice and straight there. Oh, somebody said hit the left alt to place a straight track. Let's see, is that... Oh, well, let's see. This first one's straight anyway. And I'm not sure what they mean. Oh, yeah. Oh, if I hit it again, do I get back my thing? Yeah, okay. So left alt. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be... Well, it's not really... I wasn't expecting that to work. Or something along those lines. That's good to know. All right, I still like my... I mean, I'm getting better at it enough that it's sort of one of those things where I don't know. It's, I guess the reason some people still use typewriters, something like that. All right, how's that look? It's still a little wonky, but it'll be fine. Now let's come over here. Do our stopper. Hopefully that's enough. No, that wasn't even enough. I have to go. Because it's up a hill. I'm kind of fighting that hill. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. And then we'll do another one as far forward till it lets us build it. All right, so let's see. So we could extend that out further if we have to, if it really gets annoying. But there you go. So that's the idea of a way to get into each of these and then be legit when we drop off cordwood. So I'm not sure when I'll get totally legit. And, you know, we could talk about legit, but at the same time, like right now, it's like a net neutral with the firewood. Where if we start dropping off the cordwood, not only are we not paying for the firewood, but we're making money to drop off the cordwood. So I have no real problems with that, but at the same time, it is I don't know. If you're worried about it being cheaty, I guess you could look at it either way, right? All right, let's fill up with some water and we'll call this an episode. Oop, we're not in reverse, are we? Why are we going backwards? Don't go backwards. Why are you going backward? Oh, because it is the hill. Yeah, this engine is just not as powerful, which is fine. I kind of like the idea, like I said, that I don't want super trains. I'd rather have a realistic setup. See if we got this right. In that board. If you're off a little bit, you just leave that thing up in the air, and it usually. Let's see if we get it up higher. Yeah, then it's filling it up now. Yep. Yeah, so our wood coming from this wood is a little far away. It would be nice if there was a. Oops, I didn't get wood. So we really don't need to worry about wood too much. We got a boatload more than we did before. Does it take it out of there first or second? Well, I'm just going to have to learn the details of our engine here. Right. Yep, full of water. Which you can see in here and see if it's full of water or not. Close the lid. Push that back up. And I am ready to go on my way around the other side and back down the hill. And so we'll get this, I'll get this stuff dropped off and then I'll head back down and then probably head right over to, maybe I'll grab a load of lumber. We don't really need, what do we need here? Hold a second. Yeah, so the other thing we could start doing is hauling some raw iron. I do have some more of that, or iron, sorry. We need to get beams down to the crude oil, tools, steel pipes. So we're going to definitely need to haul from the ironworks over to the oil field, and then we need those beams again. So really the way to get the lumber is to get the refinery hooked up. So maybe we just go for it. How much money do we have? I mean, we got $4,700. Most of the trees are cut. I did go and cut the trees on that path that's going to go east and west across the bottom of the map from the oil field to the refinery and tie in near the ironworks. So most of those trees should be cut. So 1,400 should be plenty to get that done. So I would expect the next episode or two to be us connecting everything. We will be an official fully connected. After that, it'll be a matter of improvements, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully the improvements come with the game too, and we don't just completely run out of content, but I have a feeling that might happen. We will go back to workers and resources or even another game. And we could still putz around with this, just I probably won't do it as intensely at that point. There you go. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.